What'd I tell you, huh? I was right. I was definitely right after what I said last night when the Phillies got no hit. I said today was going to be a brand new day. Wipe it off, brush it off your backs, and bounce back the next night. And that is exactly what the Phillies did tonight. They beat the New York Mets in the second game of this 3-game set by a score of 4-1. The bullpen was clutch. The bullpen had so many, runners, coming on when all the relievers were coming into the ball game. And hey, our relievers came in and they got the job done. Bases loaded, Corey Knebel, Jose Alvarado with his situation. Familia came in for his situation as well. Hey, the bullpen was really good in this game. Kyla Gibson, I thought, was very solid. He was mainly the reason for the Mets scoring their first run because of that throwing error, which could have been an inning-ending double play. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You scored 4 runs and you only gave up 1 because your bullpen was clutch. The Mets were not hitting today. They only got 4 hits. They did walk a lot, though. The Phillies did walk a lot of the Mets batters. It was kind of somewhat similar to what the Mets did to the Phillies yesterday, to where the Mets walked a lot of Phillies guys, but the Phillies weren't able to cash in on many of their chances. The Mets left a lot of runners stranded on base. And give credit to the Phillies bullpen. They were able to get those clutch outs. They were able to get the Mets to swing and miss. They were able to get them to ground out, pop up, whatever you can think of. And the bats, some of them woke up today. Kyle Schwarber with a huge 2-run bomb to give the Phillies the lead. Rhys Hoskins waking out of his slump to crush his second bomb of the year. Odubel Herrera remains hot as he continues to get extra base hits. And Alec Bohm being good on the base paths as well, allowing that third run, to get across home. There were a couple of situations when you watch throughout this game as well to where you can clearly tell that the ball is kind of deadened out there from Major League Baseball, to where Bryce Harper had a 409-foot flyout to center field, and it was like, yeah, the balls are dead. The balls are definitely, deadened a little bit because on a normal day, even though, yeah, it wasn't the best weather out there, but it was still like, 60 degrees outside. That ball carries out. It should. And it's something throughout Major League Baseball. A lot of people have been discussing about that. And I think a lot of players have been discussing about that as well, to where there's something going on where Major League Baseball did tamper with most likely the balls again, to where, a couple of years ago where the balls were just consistently flying out of the ballpark, how they were juiced. This could be one of those situations where they deaden the ball. They don't carry whatsoever. But overall, that's not the entire complaint of this entire thing. I'm not going to complain about the dead balls at all. But still, Phillies got a win. They hit some long balls as well, with Kyle Schwarber and Rhys Hoskins absolutely murdering them. Your bullpen was really good, electric, and clutch. And at the end of the day, you tie this series and have a chance to get the series win tomorrow on on Sunday Night Baseball. It's going to be a tough matchup, though, because you're going to have Max Scherzer on the mound. So Max Scherzer has been good for the Mets. Who knows? Maybe he is due for a stinker, but I'm not guaranteeing that. So you really got to come out to play tomorrow when you have Zach Eflin on the mound. So yeah, overall, a really good game. And before we get into everything else, what is going on, everyone? And welcome back to TTP Sports. The most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button and also dropping a like on the like button as well. If you are looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, I definitely guarantee it's a good time depending on the outcome of the games. Also, if you're a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that get yourself some Phillies tickets. Maybe you want to get a road trip tomorrow night to see some Sunday Night Baseball, Phillies and Mets, or get yourself some Phillies tickets this upcoming homestand with the Rangers and the Mets again. Why not? Get yourself some round 2 tickets to see the Sixers game 3 and 4. It's a deal you can't pass up on. Free $20 in your pocket. Use that for parking. Use that for concessions. Anything you can think of. So use the code TTP Sports for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So Phillies beat the Mets second game of the series, and they finish April with an 11-11 record, exactly at 500. Beat the Mets 4-1. The bats woke up a little bit, and the bullpen was very clutch. And just speaking of this bullpen, because I want to go into the bullpen more, because that was probably one of the mainstays of this game. The bullpen was the main reason why the Phillies won this game. So starting with Kyla Gibson, he was solid to start this game. The fifth inning where he kind of, was his own fault basically because he would have had an ending double play. He kind of rushed the ground ball a little bit to throw to second base to Jean Segura, rushed it a little bit, threw it away, and that allowed a first and third situation where the Mets were able to score a run on a ground out. So overall, even though I did think the run was unearned for Kyle Gibson, so it doesn't go against his ERA, but overall, I still think he was okay. I'll say more okay than solid. He went 4 and a third innings, 2 hits allowed, 1 run, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So he was walking guys a lot, having a little trouble with the strike zone in this game for him. So not the best start in the world for Kyle Gibson on 84 pitches. Jose Alvarado comes into the rest of the fifth inning, gets out of that situation with 2 strikeouts. Norwood comes in for the sixth inning, does his job, gets a strikeout. Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in, does his role, gets out of that situation. Familia, same thing as well, goes an inning, gets 2 walks, but able to, to get the job done when he had to come into the ball game. And then Corey Knebel gets the 4-out save, pitching an inning in the third, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout on 28 pitches. So overall, the bullpen was very solid, but the one thing that does stand out is 8 walks. And yeah, you shouldn't be walking the Mets 8 times. But granted, you were able to get those outs, and that's basically the only thing, that you can say at that point. The bullpen was clutch. They definitely were. And the Mets were not able to come up clutch today as well. So that's a really good thing to witness. So going to where the runs were scored in this game, basically a very quiet game. The Phillies do get their first hit of the ball game, thankfully. They weren't no hit. Nick Castellanos gets a leadoff single in the second inning, but basically nothing happens from that situation. Really, the runs don't start until we get into the bottom of the fifth inning for the Mets. So Nimmo, he gets a walk, and then Starling Marte, which would have been an inning double play grounder to Kyle Gibson. He rushes to play a little bit, throws it away from Jean Segura. Then Nimmo manages to go to first base. So you got a first and third situation with 1 out. Francisco Lindor, he'll ground into a fielder's choice, but Rhys Hoskins decides to throw the ball home. Can't get Nimmo out there. So you got a first and second situation for Pete Alonso. Gibson then walks Alonso. Joe Girardi elects to go to Jose Alvarado. He gets the next 2 outs. Huge strikeouts. Huge. Thankfully, rolling the dice worked. Rolling the dice worked with Joe Girardi in this game. Alvarado gets Escobar and Jeff McNeil to strike out to end the bottom of the fifth inning, with only allowing one run on the hand of Kyle Gibson. Top of the sixth, nothing happening for the Phillies in that situation. Norwood comes in for the sixth. He gets the 1-2-3. Then we go into the seventh inning for the Phillies. Ottavino out on the mound for the Mets. Castellanos starts off with a flyout. JT Realmuto then works a walk. Kyle Schwarber in his at-bat takes a couple of balls. Ottavino leaves a fastball going down and inside. Schwarber just doesn't miss it. He golfs it out the center field, crushes it, and it goes 435 feet to make it a 2-1 Phillies lead. But also, if I go back to some of the other innings, because there were situations where the Phillies did get a couple of base runners in those situations. But, Rhys Hoskins, he had a couple of guys on base for him, Odubel Herrera and Alec Boehm as well. And it sounded like he got good wood off of it, but it is also one of those, recognizing that the ball is probably dead a little bit, and also the weather not helping the ball carry as much. So honestly, you could have said if the weather was warmer, that ball probably would have carried out for Rhys Hoskins, giving him a 3-run shot, but nothing happens there. And the same thing with the Bryce Harper shot later on in the ball game as well, where it carries to like 408, 409 feet, and it dies right at the wall. But still, nonetheless, Kyle Schwarber gives the Phillies a 2-1 lead. Alec Boehm then works a walk, and during the Didi Gregorius at-bat, he manages to steal second base. McCann throws it away, and Alec Boehm manages to go over the third base. Odubel Herrera rips a double down the left field line, scores Alec Boehm, gives the Phillies a 3-1 lead in the top of the seventh inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez out there in the seventh inning. He gets the first two. Well, actually, Nimmo gets on with an infield single. Then he gets the next two outs by getting Marte and Lindor out. But then Joe Girardi, it kind of was a puzzling decision. He decided to go to Familia to face Alonso, which I'm not sure if at first I didn't agree with it, just because why not just let Dominguez finish the job in the seventh? But at the end of the day, Familia manages to get out of that situation. Alonso lines out right to Gene Segura. He was in the perfect spot defensively to get that out for Alonso. We go into the top of the eighth inning. Rhys Hoskins leading off. Reed Foley out there on the mound for the Mets. Throws one right down the middle. Same thing. There was a couple of those pitches during the at-bat to Rhys Hoskins. Thank God. The next one he threw right down the middle. Rhys Hoskins didn't miss. He crushes it into the left field bleachers, making it a 4-1 ball game. Rhys Hoskins' second home run of the year. We go to the bottom of the eighth inning. Familia out there on the mound. Gets the first out with Escobar, but then he walks McNeil. Gets the second out with Canna, and then he walks Dom Smith. And then in comes Corey Knebel. He walks Davis to load the bases up. So you got a bases loaded situation with 2 outs for Brandon Nimmo. First pitch to Brandon Nimmo, grounds out right to Gene Segura, and that ends the inning. Huge, and a bad at bat by Brandon Nimmo. Also for the Phillies as well, earlier in this ball game, one of the other situations when Odubel Herrera got on base, this was a bad running situation. So he got a double thanks to a little bit of a fielding blunder by Starling Marte. He manages to get over the third base. So you can also call this situation a bad hitting by Rhys Hoskins because they were playing the defense in and he grounded out. But then you also see, for some reason, Odubel Herrera decided to run on the hit, run on contact when the defense was playing in, and he gets caught by Francisco Lindor, which was a completely dumb decision by Odubel Herrera. Like, you should not be doing that when the defense is playing in. And also, you got to give it to Rhys Hoskins. It wasn't the best at bat in the world. But at the end of the day, it didn't come back to haunt you because you managed to get the win. But some of those things, they got to be better. You can't be hitting grounders in that situation. And Odubel Herrera can't be, having those bad blunders on the third baseline. You just can't be doing that in that type of situation when you're desperately trying to score runs. Like when you got shut out, no hit yesterday, you're desperately trying to score runs today. That really took away, some momentum there. But thankfully, the Phillies were able to wake up later in this ball game. We go to the bottom of the ninth with Corey Knebel still out there on the mound. He gets the first out by Marte. Lindor reaches on with a single. Rhys Hoskins wasn't able to come up with the ball there. Pete Alonso, he gets the second out. He flies out to right field after, Corey Knebel got behind in the count a little bit. And Knebel, he was having a little bit of trouble with location. The Mets definitely were not swinging and missing at bad pitches, so they were making him work a little bit. But Knebel manages to get out of that situation. Alonso flies out, and then Escobar strikes out, maybe with a little help from the umpire. It was a little bit of a dramatic influence because it goes right on the bottom left corner of the plate, and the umpire, he wasn't making the call at first, but then he went for the dramatic strikeout. I was just like, maybe we got a break with there. But even though they showed the box replay and it showed that the ball was in the zone, but hey, we got the strikeout. Ball game's over. Phillies win by a score of 4-1. We'll take it any day of the week. Definitely take it any day of the week. So we go to the lineup. Gene Segura in the leadoff spot, 0-4 once again. He goes 0-4, and his average has dropped down to 227. Maybe taking Gene Segura out of the leadoff position might be the best thing right now just because he's not getting on base whatsoever. Kind of looks like he's struggling up there in the leadoff spot. Rhys Hoskins goes 1-4 with the huge home run later in the ball game. Bryce Harper, 0-4 in this game with a strikeout, average down to 253. Nick Castellanos, he goes 1-4 with a strikeout. JT Realmuto, he goes 0-2 with a run scored and 2 walks. Kyle Schwarber, 1-4 with a huge 2-run shot in the 7th inning. Alec Bohm goes 1-3 with a walk and a strikeout. His average is at 308, so he just continues to find ways to get on base. Didi Gregorius, he goes 0-4 with a strikeout, and Odubel Herrera goes 2-2 with a walk and a RBI in this game. Runners in scoring position, the Phillies went 1-6, and they left 4 runners on base in this game. Like I said, pitching was really good, and just looking for the Mets set just to see how many chances they have at runners in scoring position. They were 1-8 with runners in scoring position, and they left 13 runners on base in this game. So that just shows to you how, the Phillies bullpen came up clutch, and also, the situational hitting by the New York Mets. Looking at their batters today, Nimmo goes 1-4, Marte goes 0-5, Lindor goes 1-4 with a walk, Pete Alonso goes over 3 with 2 walks and a strikeout. Escobar goes over 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. McNeil over 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Canna goes 2 for 4. Smith goes over 3 with a walk and a strikeout. McCann goes over 3 with a strikeout. And then the various pinch hitters in this game, J.D. Davis got on with a walk as well. Looking at the Mets side for pitching, Taijuan Walker was on the mound for them. He was pretty dealing out there today. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. May came on. He got an inning, allowed 1 hit, got out of that situation. Ottavino gets the loss. He allowed the home run to Kyle Schwarber and the double to Odubel Herrera, so he allows 3 runs in this ball game. And then the various other Reed Foley allows the home run to Rhys Hoskins, and then Shreve comes on for the rest of the 9th inning as well. So overall, good ball game, good win. You split the series so far, and you have a chance to win the series tomorrow with Zach Eflin on the mound, but it's going to be a difficult situation because you're going up against Max Scherzer on Sunday Night Baseball. That's not going to be fun. So come to play tomorrow. Definitely come to play tomorrow. Hopefully Scherzer is due for a bad outing because so far this year, he is 3-0 on the season with a 1.80 ERA. He's been dealing for the Mets to start this year. He definitely has been. And then just, because if you can get this series win against the Mets, you're going to be playing them next week for a 4-game set back in Philadelphia. Man, you're going to be seeing the Mets a lot. And getting some confidence against this team, maybe getting a series win tomorrow is going to be huge for that confidence. So continue to find ways to get wins, boys. You finished 11-11 in the month of April. You're going with the month of May tomorrow. Let's continue to get hot. Let's continue to get these bats rolling, and let's just build some more confidence here. Get some winning streaks going here, boys, because that's definitely huge for this ball club's confidence. Build confidence, build consistency. That's all that matters right now. Get hot, and let's keep going. Let's keep rolling against this New York Mets squad. So what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? What are your thoughts on the way it happened and everything like that? Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. Do not forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button. I will greatly appreciate that. And also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you next time.